Hello. Welcome to my YouTube page. In this video we will walk through a straightforward Python program. In the beginning I will give you an overview of what I plan to cover, then I will switch over to Python idle editor, walk you through the script and then run the program in Python shell. At the end, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Now let's begin. For this first Python program, we will develop a computational model for an extremely simple problem. With any Python computational model, the first step is to understand the problem, the second step is to find the mathematical representation or formula, then understand how to implement the mathematical model in Python, and lastly you need to have knowledge of how to test the program for correctness. Now, let's switch over to an example problem. In this first problem, we will cover creating a program to calculate the area, diameter, and circumference of a circle. First, we need to understand the problem and second, understand the mathematical representation or formula. To find the area, diameter, and circumference of a circle, the first given value that you will need is the radius. The radius of a circle is the length of the line segment from the center to a point on the circumference of the circle. It is generally abbreviated as r. In geometry, the radius is defined as a line segment joining the center of the circle or a sphere to its circumference or boundary. The area of a circle is the space occupied by the circle. The relationship between the radius and area is given by the formula, area of the circle equals pi times radius squared. Diameter is defined as the length of a straight line through the center of a circle. An example of a diameter is the length of a line sliced down the center of a pie. It is calculated by multiplying the radius of the circle by 2. The perimeter of a circle is called its circumference. It is the boundary of a circle and can be expressed by the formula, circumference equals 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius. The next step is to implement the mathematical model in Python. Now, let's open up the Python idle editor. First, start out by putting identification information for the Python file enclosed by 3 apostrophes. For the program file name, let's title it area, diameter, circumference.py. Then the author information, and for that, I'll put my name Lewis. Next the date, which is July 29, 2022, and lastly I'll put a short description of the program. Let's describe it as this program computes the area, diameter and circumference of a circle. Okay, let's get back to implementing these calculations in Python. The first thing you want to do is import the math module, as this calculation requires the use of pi. Therefore, type import math, as this will allow us to use the pi built-in math function. Pi is the ratio of the circumference of any circle to the diameter of that circle. Next, prior to creating the calculation, let's print a descriptive statement by typing print, open parenthesis, quotation and then the statement compute area, diameter, and circumference of a circle, close the quotation and close the parenthesis. Next, as the given value is the radius, we have to create an input statement. Type r, as this stands for radius equals float, open parenthesis, input, open parenthesis, quotation, then the statement, enter value of radius, colon, close the quotation, and close the parenthesis twice as there are 2 preceding opening parentheses. The input statement reads a value of a variable from the input device, in this case, the keyboard. This will display the string literal enter value of radius and reads the value of radius. Now here you'll see I put the keyword float. The keyword float will take input values and convert the specified values into a floating point number. Next, print the value of the radius as print, open parenthesis, quotation, then type the statement value of radius, colon, close the quotation, comma, then the letter r. Close the parenthesis. The next step is to implement the formula for area, diameter and circumference in Python. The formula for area is area equals pi times the radius squared. To write this in Python, type area equals math.py, as we want to use the built-in pi function imported from the Python math module, times r, which stands for radius, squared evidenced by the double multiplication sign 2. Next, the formula for diameter is diameter equals 2 multiplied by the radius. To write this in Python, type diameter equals 2 multiplied by r. Lastly, the formula for circumference is 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius. Type it in Python as circumference equals 2 multiplied by math.pi multiplied by r. The last thing that we want Python to do is print the values of area, diameter and circumference with the following print statements. Print, open parenthesis, quotation mark, then type the statement, value of area, colon, close the quotation mark, comma. I want to round the result to 2 decimal places. This is accomplished by using the round function. Therefore, after the comma, type the word round, open parenthesis, area comma 2 then close the parenthesis twice as there are 2 preceding opening parentheses. Next, is the print statement for diameter, print, open parenthesis, quotation mark, then type the statement, value of diameter, colon, close the quotation mark, comma, the round keyword, open parenthesis, diameter comma 2 then close the parenthesis twice as there are 2 preceding opening parentheses. Lastly, the print statement for circumference, print, open parenthesis, quotation mark, then type the statement, value of circumference, colon, close the quotation mark, comma, the round keyword, open parenthesis, circumference comma 2 then close the parenthesis twice as there are 2 preceding opening parentheses. The print statements are used for the output of variables and text strings. These output statements write the value of one or more variables to the output device. The round function returns a floating point number that is a rounded version of the specified number, with the specified number of decimal places. Okay, now if you remember earlier, we have to test the program for correctness, so let's run the module. In the Python idle editor header, click Run, then click Run Module. After the idle shell opens, let's input 7 as the radius amount, then click Enter. Based on the Python computational model we just created, Python is going to calculate 153.94 as the area, 14 as the diameter, and 43.98 as the circumference, thus proving the correctness of the Python program based on the input formulas. Thank you for watching my video. If you've enjoyed this video and found it informative, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload videos to YouTube. I'll see you next week with a new Python video. Until next time, take care.